Game 3 of our slow grow campaign between Imperial Knights and Astra Militarum. This is at 1,000 points, and we move from a 4x4 board to the standard 4x6 board. With this, our mission for the night is burn and pillage. I have 3 objective markers in my deployment zone. Nate has 3 objective markers in the Astra Militarum deployment zone, and whichever side scores our opponent's objectives and burns them off the board first wins. So there's no Slay the Warlord, Line Break, or any of that. It is just simply get those objectives off the board, or it's a draw, or you lose. I guess that's really the options. So with that, at 1,000 points, I actually was able to fit in 4 knights. That's 3 of the little armigers and 1 of the Questoris knights. And Nate, I'm sure, has tanks and guns and guys. So I'm very excited to see what happens. Let's see if I can get across the board fast enough on a 6x4 board with those little guys to not get shot off the board. So enjoy. 1,000 points of Imperial Knights, and it is 1,000 points exactly. What I'm taking is a super heavy detachment here, of course, and leading it off, my Questoris Knight chassis there is a Crusader variant, and he has the Avenger Gatling Cannon, Rapid Fire Battle Cannon, and 2 heavy stubbers. He is my Warlord. And with that, I am taking the Warlord trait Iron Bulwark, which adds 1 to my Ion Shield save. And his relic is the Thunder of Volturus, and that replaces his Rapid Fire Battle Cannon with the stats of range 72 inches, heavy 2d6, strength 9, minus 2 AP, D3 damage. Its ability, though, is I can roll 3d6 when determining how many shots is fired and discard the lowest. Makes that just a little bit more consistent, I think. Moving on to the armigers, we have 2 Warglaves. One of them has a meltagun, the other one has a heavy stubber, and then I have the Helverin there, and he is, as you see, with a heavy stubber on top. That is it at 1,000 points. 1,000 points of Astra Militarum. You're bringing a battalion?
I am.
And you're running Cadian.
Yep.
All right, take me through it.
All right. Warlord this time around is the tank commander there in the Demolisher tank in the center.
Okay.
The other HQ I then have is the company commander up front here. The tank commander has Kurov's Aquila, which is the command point farming one. So you spend a point, I get to roll and try and get it. The company commander up front there, I'm burning a command point for him to take a 2nd relic. That is the Death Mask of Alanius. Gives him an invul and allows him to heal himself should he need to.
Ooh, handy.
Yeah, very. Moving on to the troop slot, we have 4 infantry squads. 2 of them have plasma guns in them. All the heavy weapons you see on the board are las cannons, even though they look like they're missile launchers.
Very good. So the rocket launchers are las cannons, everything with one of those 60 mil bases.
Yeah, those are all las cannons. So
very good.
4 infantry squads, pretty straightforward. Elite slot, we got the Commissar, standard Commissar, doing what Commissars do. New to this list for this game is the Armored Sentinel. Just figure, give him a whirl, see how he does.
Yeah.
He's got a heavy plasma gun on there, a little bit of mobility.
I've got some Armored Sentinels too.
Yeah, they're too. No. Heavy weapons, or excuse me, heavy support slot. We have heavy weapons team with las cannons, and then we have 2 Lehman Russ tanks. They have the heavy bolt responsons. They have heavy bolters in the hull, even though those look like las cannons, and then battle cannons up top.
Wow, that is, let me count it up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 las cannons.
Yeah.
And that's not even including the tanks yet.
Nope, they're good.
I see. I think I'm getting your tactic.
Something's going to blow up this game. I don't even care.
Awesome, 1,000 points. And this is the table after deployment. I won the roll-off, and I picked Hammer and Anvil. And my tactical thinking behind that is he only has a few units that I think can get to the other side of the board within 5 turns.
Yep.
That was really it. So I picked this side. Nate, of course, deployed first. And let's go over the Astra Militarum side. So you placed one of your objectives here.
Yep.
That's going to be hard to wrap around and get to. With one of your infantry squads on it, another objective there with an infantry squad, your 3 Lehman Russes, taking a look down that left flank. The Sentinel is right there
Company commander here.
Oh, yeah, he looks important. We've got the heavy weapons team there, and the third and fourth squad, plus a commissar.
Yep.
All on this, and that demon head with an axe is the other objective. And moving over to my side of the board, I've placed one objective here, and both Warglaves in the center. My Crusader is just back behind them. I've got my last two objectives right behind the Crusader, and my Helverin is looking up my right flank. That is it. Grab a die.
Absolutely.
And I get +1. That's a 2.
That's the floor.
Yeah, it is.
That's also a 2.
Ooh, reroll.
You get +1 for...
Oh, I do.
Yeah, that's...
I just said that and then forgot that, so guess what I'm going to do?
I bet you go first.
You're right.
Yeah.
Imperial Knights turn 1 movement. I moved everything.
All 4 of them.
I advanced nothing because I got everything in range.
Yeah.
Yay, Astra Militarum. So I moved my Crusader up. I moved both of my Warglaves up right into the center, and over on the other side of the church, on the right flank, my Helverin is grabbing some cover, but he's just peeking through on that right flank to see some targets. Let's see if I can roll dice.
See what happens.
Imperial Knights turn 1 shooting, and it's everything I hoped and everything you feared.
Oh, yeah.
The Avenger Gatling cannon shot in on the heavy weapons squad over here, killing 2 of the bases off.
Correct.
The Thunder of Voltoris, rapid fire battle cannon, shot in over at the squad over here, and also beat them up pretty good. What are we? We're down to 2 guys, or the heavy weapons platform and 1 guy, because the commissar had to do some
do some shenanigans. I saved some guys.
summary execution. Then the heavy bolters also, or heavy stubbers, shot into them and chipped a wound off as well. And that heavy weapon squad died to morale. The Armiger Warglaves, both of them, I actually forgot to advance and shoot, so I did advance. They both advanced 4 inches. Nate was kind enough to allow me to do that. Before I started shooting, they didn't get within half range, but they both shot here. One of them missed completely, and the other one failed to wound. Their heavy stubbers shot into a squad over here, doing a couple wounds, but this Helverin with his autocannons was able to shoot in on the squad that was here, putting in 7 wounds and killing the rest off to morale. So that was... There were 7 las cannons to start, and I took... Now there's 3. Astra Militarum turn 1 movement, and man, you had to do some major valet parking over here. You had to slide this guy over. You had to slide this other one around. Your warlord had to move almost a full 12 just to peek around the side of this building at the Armiger. This squad had to move the last cannon over, and he can just see the top of that Armiger through the over top of the tank and the ruins over there. Did these guys stay put?
They stayed put. Yeah, they've got lines on it.
Yep.
Here, so.
And your sentinel popped up over top as well, just so he can see. Yeah. Awesome. Turn 1, Astra Militarum shooting. Really, let's go into your orders first.
Yes. So he didn't cast. He ordered.
Thank you.
The pound them to dust on this tank.
Yes.
I then, with the Cadian warlord trait, rolled the dice to see if I could pass it on to another tank. I did not. However, I used the stratagem that allows me to issue another order immediately, burn to command point.
Yep.
So both of the battle cannon tanks got the pound them to dust rule.
Yes, that was helpful.
Yep.
And
he ordered.
Yes.
Not cast. Ordered the bring them down one, which gives them rerolls to 1 in the wounding phase.
Yep.
So rerolls to 1 happened there. Those were the only 2 I had for orders.
Very good. Now, essentially, the reason I wanted to focus on that is because they all shot into the smoke cloud, and everything else pretty much shot into that.
Yes.
The only one who deviated from shooting into him was this guy, and he was able to shoot him and take 2 wounds off. But it took all the way down to your last guy shooting.
Yeah, last battle cannon shot.
Last battle cannon shot to take down the armiger there. And I was not making any ion saves at all.
Failing to hit.
Failing to hit. A few fails to wounds.
11 shots, and I hit with 4 of them.
Your tank commander suffered, I think, the most out of that.
Yeah.
He just did not. I think I had to make 1 heavy bolter save from him.
Yeah.
So, and he shot into him. So that was it for the. But if you think, and then don't forget about the Sentinel. He shot with his plasma cannon, but failed to wound. Imperial Knights turn 2 movement. I move my armiger up. Just within here, I actually did not run him. Hopefully I can pull some shenanigans off with House Tyrann here. The Helverin stayed put. Even though I couldn't move him up, he can see all the way back to that squad back there, so why move him?
Yeah.
And I did move my Crusader up into the middle of the ruins here. Uh-oh.
Yeah, those guys are gonna hurt.
Bye. Imperial Knights turn 2 shooting.
Yep.
We'll start with the Helverin. The Helverin actually shot into this guy, getting 1 through and taking a flat 3 off of him, so he's down to 9 wounds. The Armiger shot in with his thermal cannon thermal spear, and big difference actually. And ended up taking 5 off of the tank commander. And way over here, my Crusader decided to shoot into the last 2 last cannon squads over here, clearing them out and leaving the poor Commissar alone.
Defiantly holding the right flank.
Yeah, he's going to run. So that is it for the shooting. Going into assault. Well, assault could have gone better.
Tank's still there.
The Armiger charged into the commander. I used my rotate ion shield stratagem, saved all of his demolisher shots that came in, because you used a stratagem.
Yep, the one that allows me to overwatch on a 5-up.
Yep, and you got 3 of them.
Got
so
all 3 of them off, yep.
That's not great.
Nope, but then you blacked all 3 of them.
But I saved them all. Get into close combat after dropping a wound in Overwatch to a heavy bolter.
Oh yeah.
I swing, I hit you with 3, and I rolled 2s, needed 3s, to wound. So I did absolutely nothing.
But I swung back with my tank.
That's not a good butt. And you hit me with 1, wounded me with 1, and I failed to save.
It stubbed your toe.
So I dropped 2 wounds off of charging this stupid commander. That was great. I wonder if I'm going to get shot next turn. Astra Militarum turn 2 movement. Nope. You just moved that guy back, the tank commander, out of close combat and shifted your Sentinel over. Oh, no, I lied.
Commissar.
The mighty Commissar. Would you say he is in ambush for the night coming?
Yes, they squared off a couple games ago.
That's true. Astra Militarum turn 2 shooting. Well, I would say that was good, but
That'd be generous.
You shot everything, and it took the very last Lehman Russ.
Yeah, I didn't get to my heavy bolters, but I dedicated everything to them. So.
And you killed off my last Armiger. I used what's the name of it? Noble Sacrifice, and on a 4-up, he explodes. Sure enough, he did.
Yep.
And I could do D6 mortal wounds to you.
That's awesome.
I rolled a 1.
Yeah.
So, but it was still cool seeing him explode on a 4-up. And that is it. So I've got 2 knights left.
Okay.
They're both full health, but they're both kind of far away from where I need to be.
Yep.
So it allows you time to maneuver. But we'll see what happens turn 3. Imperial Knights turn 3 movement. The Knight Crusader has walked up, pushing up your right flank.
Yep.
And the Helverin has also pushed out of cover, moving up, because I need to put people back here, because if I don't take your objectives, there's no point.
Yes.
Imperial Knights turn 3 shooting. That could have really been better.
Yeah.
I split fire with him. That was probably my biggest fault. But I put the Avenger Gatling cannon into him, and I only one got through, and I only took flat 2 off of him. So he's down to 5. Drops him in his lower tier, but still. I put the heavy stubbers into him, wounding, but you made your save. And I put the Thunder of Volturus, the rapid fire battle cannon relic, into this guy, taking 5 off.
Yes, sir.
So I think you can kind of see where I screwed up, because if I put it all into him, he would have been gone. Then I shot with my Halverin over there into him, attempting, since he was on 7, to maybe whittle him down into that lower tier. And I actually failed to wound with all of his autocannon shots into him. And then, of course, the heavy stubber just plinked off. So that is it. I've shot everything. I've got no charges because I'm really about 14 inches out from him.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Come back.
Boo. Astra Militarum, turn 3 movement. You brought the Congo lineup.
Yeah, they all moved up 6, and then Sentinel moved up 8.
And he stayed put, and the Commissar is brave.
Yeah, he's having a tea party.
Astra Militarum, turn 3 shooting, and literally everything shot. All 3 tanks and the Sentinel shot into him, grinding him down to 3 wounds left. I can't believe he's alive.
It's amazing. A spectacular number of armor saves, and
you actually hit some really good rolls too. It was just a combination of fail to wound rolls and decent armor saves.
17 battle cannon shots and 5 demolisher cannon shots.
Yeah,
he's still there.
Pretty good. The las cannon from here shot into the Crusader and failed to do anything. I made my ion save. So
yeah, it should be noted, I put the take aim on the infantry squad from the tank commander.
For the orders.
And from the tank commander over here, the pound them to dust. The first one went here. I then tried to roll with my warlord trait, allowing me to put it on somebody else. I failed. So when that happened, I used the stratagem to immediately put another one on the other tank.
That's right. And that helped. It was important, but he is still around somehow.
Yeah.
All right, turn 4.
Get it?
Imperial Knights, turn 4, moving and shooting. Because I just moved my Crusader up here, and I moved my Halverin up there. But my Crusader, all the 5s and 6s I've been missing on ion saves for 4 turns.
Yeah.
I just rolled them all now for shooting.
Yeah.
The Avenger Gatling cannon shot into the tank commander, killing him. He did not explode. I had split fired the Thunder of Volturus, which is at strength 9, which is huge, instead of strength 8, so it's actually wounding on 3s. I put that into that rapid fire battle cannon into the other Lehman Russ here, wiping him off.
Took him down to 1, actually.
Took him down to 1, thank you.
Yep.
I shot with my autocannons over here into him, failing to wound, actually failing to hit most everything because he's in his lower tier, but I rolled a 6 to hit with the heavy stubber and a 6 to wound with the heavy stubber, and you rolled a 1 on that Lehman Russ.
But he didn't blow up.
He didn't blow up either, but he's gone. And the heavy stubbers over here shot into this darn Commissar and did nothing.
He's protecting the faith.
I don't know what that means. I think
he's doing it.
Whatever he's doing it well. He's still alive, did nothing to him. So that is where we're at. Time to assault. Maybe assaulting the Commissar. Imperial Knights, turn 4 assault. Well, I charged with my Halverin, even though they're garbage in close combat, into him, really just to lock him up.
Yep.
And you overwatched and got 1 through with your battle cannon, taking 1 off, and then did not do anything with the heavy bolters.
That's with me using the stratagem that allows me to overwatch better.
That's true.
Yeah, only 1 got through.
Yeah, and then it was, what, D3, and you rolled a 1.
Terrible.
It was something, but I swung with nothing since he doesn't really have a close combat arm. But 4 attacks, strength 6, no damage, and you treaded me back.
I swung back with 3. I hit nothing.
Right. So we're locked.
We're hanging out.
That was less than awesome, but it helped me out. Astra Militarum, turn 4 movement. You Fell back from the Lehman Russ, right?
Tank fell over to the church.
Moved the Sentinel up.
Yep. He's looking at the armorer there.
Ooh.
Yeah. He's gonna shoot him. Those guys stayed put next to the pink tape measure.
Yes, they did.
And Commissar Ibram Runaway ran to the other side of the crates there. So.
Commissar Balls.
Yeah.
Turn 4 Astra Militarum shooting, and how funny. So, let's start over here with where used to be a Helvern.
It's like, I felt good about it, but then I didn't.
So, your Scout Sentinel overcharged like a boss.
Yeah.
Got 2 plasma shots in.
Yep.
On 6s.
Yeah.
Just nuked them.
Just boom.
Well, and then I rolled a 6 to explode and put a mortal wound on him and put 2 mortal wounds on him, dropping him into his lower tier.
It's garbage.
That's funny. I want to thank you.
But let's not take away from the crowning achievement of the hour.
Okay, this is a crowning achievement.
the infantry.
All right, your las cannon decided to shoot in, and he was doing great. He hit him.
Yeah, and he failed to wound.
Failed to wound.
Yeah.
Good job, las cannon.
Plasma guns.
You know why? It's because they're too busy dumping iron.
Yes.
But the flashlights these guys decided to bring to a gunfight actually stripped a wound off. So, yeah. Wow. I might as well get an abacus out if this is how this is going to go. Imperial Knights turn 5 movement and shooting. So, of course, I moved him up through here. I still can't see this stinking little commissar over there. Whatever. I shot the Avenger Gatling Cannon into here, and I shot the Heavy Stubbers in. That wasn't pretty. The Avenger Gatling Cannon only put 4 wounds into the squad.
Oh, yeah.
And the Heavy Stubbers also put 4 wounds into the squad. I don't understand. I don't understand. Put the Thunder of Volturus rapid-fire battle cannon into the back of this guy and only took off 2 wounds from him.
Yeah, with like 7 battle cannon shots, whatever it was.
Pretty average.
Yeah.
Pretty average. Thanks for showing up today, Big Questoris. All right.
He's down a wound.
Yeah, I'm going to charge you. Well, I wish in turn 5 I could give you an Imperial Knight Assault recap, but even with the house tier and rule of rolling 3d6 and picking your 2 highest, that was a 6-inch charge, and I needed a minimum of a 7. So he sat tight. You overwatched, but you overcharged your plasma gun.
Oh, yeah.
It was smart.
Yeah.
But he died.
Yeah.
And then you took morale and lost everything but your last cannon.
Yeah.
So that is it for Imperial Knights turn 5. Let's see what damage you can do to him.
Last turn of the game.
Last turn. Turn 5 Astra Militarum, shooting movement, and never assault.
Yeah. Nobody moved. Nobody assaulted.
Really, we played the end here that really turned 5 just for fun because due to the mission parameters, we knew neither of us could win. Yeah. But it's been such an entertaining game. Why not? Yeah. So over here, your last cannon. How'd it do today?
He did okay. You know, I mean, he had a good. He was terrible.
Yeah, he didn't do anything. All he did was stay alive because he decided not to shoot.
Yeah. His real problem is the fact he's pointing the wrong way. I mean, honestly, that's
fair. That's fair. And over here, your Lehman Russ shot in, taking 3 off of him.
From the heavy bolters.
No. That was from the battle cannon.
Oh,
and then the heavy bolters took another 1, bringing him down to 19. Woo. Then you overcharged with him shooting, and you didn't overheat, but you also didn't hit him.
I didn't do anything.
So that is it, Nate. That was a great game. That's a draw.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to touch any of your objectives, and I got
out of my starting area.
You did. You know, it's the little victories. I got mid-board, and frankly, I really feel that Armiger failing so miserably in close combat was a big nail in my coffin.
Turn 1 losing 5 of my 7 las cannons.
Yeah,
that was rough.
Yeah. That really put you back to. That took a lot of firepower out. So, but still, what a great game. Very dynamic, and I really like how it's grown to 1,000 points. I'm really interested to see what 1250 does. So,
can't wait.
All right, thanks, Dave. We'll see you next time.
Absolutely.